Hey, Ed here from 10,000 Foot View, and I've got another Google Ads quick tip for you today. Just before I jump in, a reminder to please like our content and subscribe to the channel. We post on Google Ads once or twice every week. Okay, so today I am going to be talking about merchant feed product titles, and with basically fully automated shopping these days, which is now PMax, used to be Smart Shopping. We have very little control as advertisers over keyword targeting or blocking with negatives. You can still do it at the account level, or you can get a rep to block keywords with negatives for you. But the reality is, since we can't see search query reports, we don't know what negatives to add. So at this point, really one of the major areas of control that we still have is our product feed data. And the most important element within product feed data, besides adding your GTIN, which you must do, is your product titles. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about different ways you may want to structure your product title and a way to automate that if your product titles are currently a mess and you don't want to pay for a third-party feed management service. So first off, not all product titles are created alike. How we organize it for a client depends on the product category. And here are some examples. So these are pretty much covers a lot of items, but the first one being clothing. For clothing, we'll actually structure it with the brand, the gender being male or female, the product type, and attributes. And so, for example, Polo is the brand. It's a men's dress shirt, right? So gender, it's a dress shirt. And then the attributes in this case are black medium, being the color and size. For food or supplements, we would include the brand, product type, and attributes. So in this case, a brand would be Snickers, the product would be a chocolate bar, and then the attributes would be the size, 1.86 ounces, and it's a 12 pack. So it's actually a box in this case. The next one is electronic goods. In this case, we structure it with the brand, attribute, product type, and model number. And you can see this is quite a bit different than these first two. So in this case, again, we have the brand up front, Samsung, and then the attribute is the TV size, and then, kind of the characteristics or the features, 4K, ultra high def, HDR, LED. Tizen is the kind of model brand, if you will, or model name, and then smart TV. Um, so this is actually the product type here, um, and then the model number. So model numbers are important with electronics and some other products because a lot of people will have already kind of decided what model number they're going to buy of a product, and they're just like researching prices and different suppliers. Okay, the next one is books, and this one's a bit unique, but you're going to use the book title because there's no brand here. The format, hardcover, softcover, the type, and the author. So in this case, the name of the book is The Day the Earth Stood Still. It's softcover novel, um, and it's by Ray Bradbury. So the type here is novel, right? So it could be like nonfiction book or something like that. And then the last one I'm going to give as an example is seasonal products. And in this case, you want to put the occasion up front and then the product type and the attributes. In this case, it's Halloween. It's Candy Kisses is the product, and it's a 100 pack. Now, this is similar to this food one, but because you're doing seasonal products, in this case, it's a little bit organized a little bit differently. But you could include, the rest of this information, which is in fact here, just the size isn't here, but candy kits, I guess, only come in one size. So anyway, and again, this is just a guideline and there is no one size fits all. You have to kind of think about your product, and what information is most relevant. The other thing you want to do is where possible, you want to make sure that you're covering keywords. So if there are keywords typically that are commonly searched for these things, and they're not part of this structure, you may want to put keywords in here if you can. Just keeping in mind that, not all of these long titles are actually going to show up um, in the shopping ad. They will be seen by Google, so it will help with keyword targeting, but they won't all show up if they're too long. Okay, so with that said, if you have a messy feed or you have a feed that's not organized like this, one option is obviously to go into Shopify or your shopping cart system, whatever that may be, and manually edit the title for each item. Or you could even um, edit the SEO title if you have that capability instead of doing the main title. But another option, if you don't want to do that, or you're worried that that won't be the best aesthetic on your website, is you can use Merchant Center rules to automatically combine these data into the title. So basically, you're just going to create a new feed rule. You're going to products, feeds, and click on the product feed name. You're going to choose the feed rules tab. You're going to press create. And then you're going to start building your rule by choosing the title attribute and then adding um, your different structure here. So brand, gender, product type, right? And basically that's it. Once that's done, you're going to click OK. Give it a bit of time to update. Usually it's within an hour unless you have like a really big feed. Once it's done, then you're going to go check out your titles and make sure that those all make sense and you are good to go. So again, important to get the structure right so that you're including all the relevant information to distinguish your products from one another, but also to distinguish your products from the competition. Because again, having as much relevant information as possible, you're going to get clicks on the right products. Which is going to obviously improve your performance. And then the other part is having your keywords in here as well, so that you're going to match with the most relevant search queries. So that is it for today. I hope you found this useful, and I will see you next time.